Famiglia, today I'm going to be showing you the best glute exercises that I do, and I'm going to rate them according to what and how they help me grow my glutes over here. This is going to be based on my own experience. So obviously, remember, as a disclaimer, everyone is always different. So obviously, just because I feel an exercise and I love an exercise doesn't mean it's gonna be exactly the same to you. There's things like genetics, body composition, how long even your legs are there, and also your level of experience as well. They are all going to impact the way you feel an exercise. But that being said, I'm going to reveal you all my secrets of my favorite exercises and why, and rate them as well from bad to the best ones and my favorites. Let's go. Yalla. First exercise will be RDL. Everyone loves them. Everyone swears by them. I hate them. Actually, I haven't even done RDLs and I don't even know how long. And I would only do them if, for example, I'm in a gym, there is no equipment, that is my only option. Like, it's my last option, scraping the barrel over there. And I'm not saying it's not a good exercise. I personally do not particularly like it because, to be completely honest, RDLs will always target my back as well. And it's not about your form. A lot of people actually say, oh, why every time I do RDLs, I always tend to feel it in my back. And even if you maintain perfect form, for example, your back is neutral, you're doing it right, you're bending on your knees today, you feel it in your glutes, you also engage your core so you brace correctly to protect your core and feel it with air, I will still feel it in my back. And you know why? Because RDLs are also a back exercise. It's a compound exercise. And whilst other exercises like that, for example, squats and leg presses, etc., they're all compound too, I personally do not feel like RDLs are my exercise, okay? Because why would I do an exercise that I will still feel in my glutes? Yes, but I'll also feel a little bit too much in my lower back. And I will do other exercises for my lower back anyway, and I will show you an alternative in a second. So for me, RDLs, I'll put it in from a scale to 1 to 10, from 1 being my favorite and really good exercise to 10 not really liking it and hating it. I'm gonna put it as a 8. Yes, 8. Are you surprised? And some people would really like them because why? Let's talk about RDLs and the anatomy and how it works. So RDLs are a very good exercise because they work your glute on a stretched position, okay? So when we lower down, that is the peak of the movement over here. We're lowering down. However, we don't want to go too low, otherwise we will start to feel it too much on our lower back, okay? But also, I feel like with RDLs, I can't go really heavy. So if I do, for example, a set with RDLs, another thing with RDLs is I can't really seem to go too heavy. So I can feel it and be okay with it, kind of, when I use moderate weight. But as long as I start packing on more weight, my back will start inevitably will start engaging, okay? So this is something that for me, it doesn't really do much. So I'll just put it on an 8 for me. Some people love it and you're okay to love it. Some people really love it and that's what helped them grow. But for me, however, this is not the key growth exercise for my own glutes, okay? Proving that if there are some exercises that you don't like and you simply don't enjoy it, just because other people do them, doesn't mean that you also need to do them too. So that's a tip for you. I mean, I am indeed in the squat rack, so of course the next review is going to be for squats. I have to be honest, with squats, I have a love-hate relationship with them. Why? Because squats did help me grow my glutes. I've been squatting for years, to be honest. And squats get demonized a lot on the internet because they say, oh, you don't need to squat to build your glutes. And that's right. Every exercise I'm going to show you, in every exercise, there is no one exercise that you have to do that is going to help you grow. Absolutely not. There is no one exercise you must do or one key exercise. When people ask you, oh, can you give me one exercise that will help you grow your glutes? There is not. It's just not one exercise, but rather it's the combination of exercising with progressive overload, with a good diet, which, by the way, if you're not eating the right amount of calories, honey, you're just wasting time at the gym. That's why with one-to-one online coaching, by the way, I help my clients and teach them everything about calories, the diet as well. The diet is the most important thing. You can't do one thing without the other. And if you want me to help you and teach you everything you need to know for a lifetime, this knowledge that I'm going to teach you is going to be for the lifetime. Think about what I do on YouTube 10 times better and personalized to you. For this, link in bio, remember. Anyway, so I've been going through squats for a long time, okay? So squats wise, I've been squatting for like literally as long as I've been training. And why squats are also a good exercise? Like RDLs, squats are a great exercise because they work your muscles on a stretched position, okay, at the bottom. So I've been doing several variational squats. So if you don't like, for example, barbell squats, which is fair enough, some people actually don't like them. I started as well with boss squats at first. If you don't know what it is, there is a bench here and you just literally squat on the bench, which is a great exercise variation for beginners. And I make a lot of my clients and beginners clients make boss squats because they're less intimidating than normal barbell squats, okay? But if you're even more beginner with less experience, you can also do goblet squats. So with a dumbbell, you grab a dumbbell and you'll do exactly the same movement. It doesn't matter. There is not one exercise that is superior. They're slightly different, obviously, in terms of mechanics and the center of gravity, of course. But if you do barbell squats, or for example, you do dumbbell squats, goblet squats, more or less they do the same thing in terms of targeting the targeted muscle. The center of gravity will change, etc. But if you're a beginner, you can also start with goblet squats or dumbbell squats, or my favorite are indeed sumo squats. So you have a dumbbell here, you grab a dumbbell and you just go down like this. Much easier alternative for beginners if you're not quite ready yet to approach the squat route, okay? I've done sumo squats, I've done Smith machine squats, I've done box squats, I've done normal barbell squats, and recently I've been switching to a different variation. So I like to do the same exercise, but over time change slightly the variation, okay? So if we start, for example, with dumbbell squats, then later on I did box squats, then high bar squats, and now I recently swapped to low bar squats. What the hell is low bar squats? Normally, when you position your barbell, you'll be either high on your trap or low on your traps over here, okay? And that's what separates a high bar squat from a low bar squat. Let's see the positioning. High bar squat is here. Amazing. So you will keep your torso more upright, chest up for this variation, and squat down. Now, the other variation that I recently swapped to is the low bar, which means the bar is going over here, low on your trap. So from here, going over here. What does this mean? If my bar is over here, automatically, okay, I can't keep upright, otherwise you slide down. So what I need to do automatically is to lean more forward, okay? And anatomically speaking, if we are leaning more forward already, what's gonna happen? Okay, we're gonna bend down more, we're gonna be almost like inclined, and as well, automatically, we're going to be targeting our glutes more. The Italian coming out here all the time. So we're gonna go nice and low. This is a variation. Compound means obviously squats inevitably are also gonna target your legs as well as your glutes, etc., and your core. It's a compound, it means multiple muscles at once. But a low bar squat is slightly more glute focused because of the position of the bar. Like I said, that is gonna force you to lean more forward, meaning that you'll target your glutes more, opposite to a high bar squat where the bar instead is high on your traps. That's a little trick for you. The negative is I don't love them, I actually hate doing them, and I struggle to go heavy with them, I have to be honest. Why? Because especially barbell squats are a very complex exercise, okay? So you have to be, in terms of your mobility, for example, if your mobility is not on point, your movement will be restricted. So you have to work a lot on your mobility, on your hips, your ankles, a lot of joint mobility that comes with squats. And as well, you have to brace correctly. If you don't know how to brace, which is something that I teach my clients, by the way, it's super important with all lifts, otherwise you get lower back pain. And with squats, if you don't brace correctly, it can compromise as well your spine. In terms of the mechanics of the squat, it is quite a complex exercise, I'm gonna be honest. There is exercises that you can do that are easier, okay? And for beginners are gonna be easier, and are prescribed differently for my beginners clients. So that being said, obviously you can progressively overload, but I always struggle to go really, really heavy with these because of the complexity of the exercise. Is good because it's helped me grow my glutes, and I've been doing them since week 1, but they're also really, really hard. So it's a love and hate relationship with them, truthfully a love and hate relationship. So I'm gonna put them on 5, on number 5 on the scale, okay? Because yes, they help me, but also really hate them too, okay? And also because I've been squatting so much, other little thing, they really help me develop my traps a lot. Like you can't see them now, but my traps sometimes they tend to overtake on other lifts, like for example when I'm trying to do pull-ups, right? Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but still kind of annoys me. So yeah, 5, I'll give you a 5, okay? Next exercise is my favorite, good mornings on the Smith machine. And why do we do them on the Smith machine? You can do them with a normal barbell on the squat rack, for example, but I actually prefer doing them on the Smith machine because it gives you more stability, okay? You'll have to be more stable, you have to use a lot more your core, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I personally prefer having more stability so I can focus more on my glutes. Now, I love this exercise and I really feel it on my glutes because this is basically when instead of RDLs, I do this, okay? So this is my swap to RDLs because I feel RDLs literally just in my lower back. So this instead got like, I really feel it in my glutes unmatched. So it's the same movement, more or less. No, it's not the same, but like it's very similar movement. You have to hinge at your hips, you bend at your legs, etc. But between the two, okay, I prefer this. Does it mean that this is superior to RDLs? exercise? Not necessarily. As I said before, it's my own personal preference. I really feel it. Some people would really try this exercise and would actually not really like it, okay? Again, because of the body composition and etc. And also because you need to get used to it as well. Again, with this, you need to brace your core, making sure that you brace your core correctly, otherwise you'll feel it in your lower back. That's why it's so essential to learn how to brace for certain exercises. But this, honestly, I would put it from a scale from 1 to 10. I'll put it as a solid 3 on that. So obviously it's very high. I'm being very generous. Now, in order to feel this a lot, you need to bend at your knees. So I don't go down like this. Okay, I go down literally almost in between a squat and an RDL. This is okay. So I really bend. Like, you see how much I bend? Like this. Okay, and it's almost like a transfer. That's a little tip that I give to myself, because we can do this only because we got the Smith machine, by the way. I transfer my weight slightly more on my heels, okay, to feel it a little bit more on my glutes. And yeah, this is amazing. I love it. Next exercise, an isolation exercise, the 45-degree hyperextension glute bias. What I showed you before are all exercises that work on the stretching of your muscles. This instead is opposite, and it focuses on the contraction, okay? So exercises like this, hip thrusts, etc., you'll tend to feel them more. Feeling is a sensation. It doesn't mean they're superior. It's just a sensation, okay? So I don't want you to base your judgment based just on the sensation. It's just purely because you're contracting a muscle opposite to relax. So obviously if you really squeeze something, you're gonna feel it more than relaxing. It's just automatically on the brain. It doesn't mean that it's better. It's just how it works, okay? Now, this exercise, I'm putting it as a number 1. Not just purely for the feeling sensation, but first of all, because it's very easy to perform. It doesn't add unnecessary pressure to other parts of your muscles. For example, if you experience a lot of lower back pain, what you can do is just round your back, for example, to eliminate that and just purely feel it on your glutes. But it's also a glute isolation exercise. It's great as well to isolate the upper division. It's still gluteus maximus. It targets your gluteus maximus, but kind of more like the shelf area. So the top area of our glutes, if we will. So it's a really, really good exercise. And yes, I'm going to put it as a number 1, and I love it. And I literally do it almost every leg day towards the end of my workout on my days. Insane. Okay, this is the master of all glute exercises. We're talking about the one and only Fabio hip thrust. Okay, so this is a machine because I'm lazy to set it up, not gonna lie. The only negative thing that comes with hip thrust is the setup. It's so annoying, honestly. And honestly, doing the machine, it's okay, but for me, it's just not as good. I prefer the traditional barbell setup. I feel it way more in my glutes, or the Smith machine one. I can do the Smith machine. This is okay if you want something quick, but I personally don't like it as much, okay? Doesn't mean it's bad. No, some people will really love it and will find it super effective. I personally prefer the standard hip thrust. So judging from a hip thrust perspective, I put hip thrust as well on number 1, numero uno, guys. I've been hip thrusting my whole life, literally, and I feel like that's what's given me my glutes. That being said, why hip thrust targets the entire area of your glutes, the lower subdivision and the upper subdivision, everything. And again, it works on the squeezing. Next, we have kettlebell swings. I don't even think I'm doing it right because I don't really do this at all. That's why I'm gonna give it like a 10, like on the low part. I don't really enjoy them. This is not what built my glutes. And I also feel like there is better exercises that work your glutes than this, okay? So some people do it as a part of a circuit training, for example. I honestly do not rate this at all. That's why I just put it as a 10. So we have to address the mother of my OG exercises, my cable glute kickbacks, but not just kickback. They're on an angle, you're kicking laterally. This exercise is one of the best. I'm gonna yes, claim it. I'm making big claims over here. You're taking them from me. It's one of the best of the top glutes for your shelf. In my opinion, there's nothing better for me. This is what helped me build the shelf. This is what helped me build the upper glutes. This is what helped me shape my glutes. And I started introducing these. I feel like they became more like popular the last couple of years. I would say probably the last 5 years I've been doing them. So bear in mind I've been training for like a long time. So no, I've probably been doing them for the past 3 years. I've been doing this. I would say probably 3 years. And this is what gave me that nice, really like peachy shelf. Because before I feel like my glutes were going like this. And now I started developing the upper glutes as well. So yes, I'm gonna claim them. And on the scale from 1 being amazing to 10 being really crap, this is gonna be a 0. As in like so good that even past, I'll put it on the 1, but they're even beyond the 1. So can I put 0 minus something? Like for me, it's just really good for me. I really enjoy them. Okay, Tamia. Like I said, there are so many more exercises, but obviously I cannot do them all in one video. So let me know if you want me to do part 2 of this and rating my favorite exercises and how I feel them. So even with the cable exercise, this is a glute isolation exercise as well, so I love it. In general, I do love my glute isolation exercises, partly because they're also easier to perform and they also isolate directly your glutes, but there are all other exercises as well that are really, really good. They're also compound and I will also do, and they help me really build my glutes. Squats being one of them. Even if I hate them, I have to still give it credit to them, because squats really did help me develop my glutes, okay? So I cannot really discredit them. I just hate them because of the way I feel about them. It's just a personal thing. We're getting personal about this, okay? However, like we said before, you don't have to do an exercise specifically to, there's no one single exercise that will just make it grow your glutes. It's a combination of different things. Now, if you want me to help you discover the best plan for you that works for you, we do test with our clients. So we will test them on what they feel the most, on the level of expertise, or what type of variation works best for them, because everyone will be different. Just because something works good for me doesn't mean that you will feel it the same. For that, one-to-one online coaching, okay, familia? That being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time with another video.